Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to Sam and Max Hit the Books. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we've got 8 books to review for you this week. The books that came out on the 5th of June, 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Sam, why don't you take us into the first book of the week?
Sure thing. Starting up, we got issue 2 of the Savage Avengers, Gary Dugan and Mike Deodato. And I'd say that this is an alright second volume, but as far as second volumes go, I'm not as impressed as I was with the first one, with the very nice Wolverine and Conan battle.
Yeah.
And then on this one we get this cover, which is a Wolverine and Conan battle, but the book... it's not so much about that.
It's meandering.
It's meandering. You get some stuff of what the villains are doing, and
I was very confused too, because in the little flashback at the beginning, I thought we were seeing an origin of Red Skull.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I didn't get it at all, because the guy's name is even kind of similar to Red Skull's real name, because what's his name? No, Johann Richter. So that confused me, because Red Skull's Johann Strauss.
Right. Yeah, but I guess we're just getting the bad guy's first lieutenant,
right?
His origin, which is, that's all right. But then we got this cool part in the middle of the book, once it gets more into what's actually going on, where Wolverine wants to revive Voodoo. So he stabs his own hand, and he cuts open Voodoo's chests, and using a combination of his mutant blood and his ability to grab onto that dude's heart and squeeze it a couple times. Anybody can do that, but he resuscitates him. Doesn't think it's working at first. He goes off killing, but that dude wakes up.
It really almost feels like Dugan wrote himself into a bit of a corner with Brother Voodoo getting axed in the first issue. He's like, okay, what can I do?
Right.
Like, Wolverine, he can regenerate. Oh, Wolverine's blood. I'll just have him bleed into him. Like, it isn't for sure that it'll work, but people will buy it. All right, what's next?
Well, bleed into him and pump his heart. Which, that's cool. That's cool. Why not? And, you get a little bit of Conan doing his thing. He fights some dudes. He steals an amulet. It's all right.
Like, all this stuff is happening, and I understand what's happening technically from a storytelling standpoint, but it's like, this magic amulet, this magic thing that he broke that had a symbiote inside of it, that symbiote's dead now.
Right. The Conan part especially, I wasn't sure at first if this was current time or if this is back in Conan's world before he transported over here.
And the narration is almost like reassuring us, like, look, we know we put Venom on the cover of the first issue. He's coming, don't worry. Like, somebody's going to enter the fray related to the symbiote. Who could it be?
Right, because the symbiote gets smashed. Conan uses a jar full of symbiote
to whack a guy.
To whack a guy, exactly, and break the jar. That's intriguing. We'll see.
Now, I don't know that much about Claymore mines. Are they, like, perfectly only one direction exploding?
Well,
like, it won't get any shrapnel. Like,
it's not going to get any shrapnel behind it
at all. Like, it's guaranteed, because that seems real risky to strap a claymore to your kidneys and like have it blow up and like know that you're going to be just fine.
I'm pretty sure Claymore only one direction blocked, the other direction gets a huge blast.
It's like in having a Claymore on your back that explodes, like the force of that explosion, like there is no counter force that's like exploding your spine down.
Right.
I mean,
isn't the Claymore made out of plastic explosive?
Like I said, my knowledge of Claymores is very low.
I'm pretty sure the explosive component of a Claymore is plastic explosive.
Uh-huh.
But the Claymore, you put it on like a shield, a plate, and then you stick that plate to something, and that way, you can stick it to a wall, and then when somebody passes by, you explode it, and it doesn't break the wall, but it kills the dude.
It doesn't break a wall, but it wouldn't break a human's...
It might crush a human's a kidney. That's the thing. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I'd give it a 6. Still alright.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 5. It's right down the middle, but it's not really what I wanted from this series yet.
Right.
Because, I mean, honestly, the whole point of the the selling point of the series is the roster, and the roster is being drip fed to us so slowly.
Right. That is the huge problem with this. Is put them together, have them do their thing.
Right. And that's just not happening yet.
Yeah, it's not happening.
So next up, we're going to talk about the 4th issue of Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History, written by Paul Scheer and Nick Giovanetti, drawn by Todd Knock.
Oh yeah, this time he's destroying Marvel history, but keeping regular history right on line.
Yeah, as far as we know. I mean, we don't know what the Watcher sees at the end of the issue. He's like, oh shit, I got to stop Cosmic Ghost Rider from all of this mind meddling.
Right,
I like that.
that's true.
I do enjoy the use of Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos in this issue as essentially the Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like right down to the scene where they're
Completely.
interrogating the guy and a
baseball bat
walks out with him. Yeah, exactly. So I did enjoy that bit. Unlike the other issues, you didn't really see the exact lines of where this was like folding into specific previous storylines, other than the fact that Steve and Bucky were lost on this exact mission. Like, and you see the one panel of like the Bucky catching the rocket while Steve misses it.
Right, and it seems like Cosmic Ghost Rider killed Hitler at about the time that Hitler was actually going to die.
Right, he didn't mess with the time stream. And I thought it was interesting. It was the first one that didn't kind of like bounce between 3 or 4 famous stories. It kind of stuck just, I'm doing this one Captain America thing.
Right.
And it kind of made sense, since unlike him being like, here's all these cool adventures I went on, he's specifically trying to tell a story to get young Frank to trust him.
Right, he's not telling the story to a kid, he's telling more story.
Exactly. So, it's fine. I'm still enjoying it fine. This is a good enough issue. It's a 6.
I'd give it a 6 too. It was alright.
Alright, take us into the
Alright, issue 2
trashy ass
of
book.
DCeased. DC's new event where anti-life equation gets out and spreads through the internet, and it's getting everybody.
Making rage zombies.
Yeah, and so we get a little bit of really just the very beginning. We get some Aquaman.
Right, implying that there's going to be some bad zombie fish things happening in the future.
All right, we just got that. But moving on, the team, they're getting together. Look for Batman. Superman's gone off to do his thing. It's all right. And you get a little bit of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, which I wasn't expecting, but that reveals that it seems like the equation got Joker.
Yeah, Joker likes tech. He definitely got infected early.
Yeah, and then we get a little camping scene.
Yeah, it's interesting that 2 issues this week specifically brought Hal and Ollie together.
Right, yeah. They were having fun in this one until Hal, he was the next one to get anti-life.
Yeah. Apparently Hal is the guy who, when you're on vacation, he can't stand not going and checking his phone when you're camping.
Right.
He's the Tom from Parks and Rec of this group.
Right, exactly.
It's so funny, like his characterization in this versus his characterization in the other book that Hal appeared in this week. But yeah, he doesn't last too long.
Yeah, and then the team back at Daily Planet, they get contacted by Batman. He's been infected, but he's using freeze tech in order to slow his metabolism, so it doesn't get him as fast.
Which is just like what happened in the Batman Who Laughs mini.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
It's so funny how many things this comic is like just tweaking a little bit just happened in comics. Like,
right. It's like if all of that was at the same time and the anti-life equation was involved and the good guys are losing a lot.
Right, it's out of continuity, so good guys can die. But,
yeah.
Like I started out by saying that this book was trashy, and I don't mean that in like it's garbage.
No, it's entertaining.
Right, exactly. But it's so cheap. Like it's so here's what we're gonna. Right, it's like, oh man, what would be the worst? Oh man, if Alfred had to put Batman down, right. Being like, sorry, son.
I mean, when Batman is explaining his whole thing, and Alfred is just standing behind him with the shotgun. I mean, you know what it's for. Ah, yeah. No, that's it's dark. It's enjoyable, but yeah, it's frivolous. But I'd still give it a 7.
Yeah, it's a 6 for me on this one. I feel like there is something there. The story can get to a place where they will be able to make this concept interesting. But right now, so far, it's just like torture entertainment without much comedy happening.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Which is the thing that made Marvel Zombies work a decade ago, was that like it was all this horrific shit happening, but it was so tongue-in-cheek. It was so like being played for laughs that it really kind of like gave it its unique thing. Whereas this is just like, oh shit, zombies are bad.
That is a good point. Before we move on, I should mention that this was written by Tom Taylor and drawn by Trevor Hairsine.
Yeah, not as good as Tom Taylor's other alternate universe Everything Sucks story, Injustice, in my opinion.
I haven't read that.
No. Much better than it should be. Alright, we got issue 5 out of 6 of War of the Realms by Jason Aaron, Russell Donovan. The coolest thing in this issue is the ad for Legion at the beginning, which, man, look at that, that's kind of awesome.
Well, I mean, you put that color palette on anything, and it looks good.
Did you see the Wonder Woman poster that came out yesterday?
I did not.
After we're done recording, I have to show you, because it is... There's a lot of colors.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
So this is... the problem that I'm having with this event at this point is that there isn't really a main character for us to follow.
Well, that's true.
It's
this
Thor
is what's
event.
happening over here.
Right.
And this is what's happening over here. As the gods of this realm came down and there was a mighty clash with these heroes.
Remember last issue how like Spider-Man and Cap and some people were on a team like on the Frost Planet? And
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Well, we're now in the next issue and everything's different. With every character is in a different place. Jason Aaron has to pull out did you just misgender me with She-Hulk there, which that's always fun.
I know. Shuri is or putting out a message on all of the African streams that she can get on, but no others.
And Spider-Man is Lord of the Spider Demon.
Well, that I liked. That was all right. I mean, those spiders could follow a better Spider-Man overall, but as far as comedy goes,
the idea
in this issue,
you get Wolverine being on the Warriors 3, little jokey bits, and
you get the War Machine dwarves following Cap around.
Right, exactly.
That's intriguing.
But yeah, it's a lot of action. It's heavy action. Like we know what has happened in the war. We never see what is happening. Even in the stuff that's only happening in this book, like Malekith's challenge, like it's written in this purposefully like back and forth, like, hours ago, like, this is what happened. And that's why Thor was talking about Malekith's challenge on the previous page, that you didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Do you know if you're supposed to know what somebody's talking about or not when it comes up on a page? You don't. Was it in a tie-in? Is it going to be revealed in the next part of this book that's using time jumps for no reason? We don't know. But
there wasn't a little box saying that you should have read this to know about this, so I just flow with it.
Right.
I do like Thor going into the sun.
I do like Thor going into the sun. I mean, I can see what Jason Aaron's doing with the parallels to Odin hanging from the world tree.
Oh, yeah. I didn't notice that long before
Thor started saying it.
Right, they started talking about it.
I really thought Odin was dead already last issue. It really seemed like they were dead.
Right, with the armor.
And maybe he's dead now. He just got stabbed by the sword, but I don't know. Odin, dead, alive, who knows?
He's already died like 3 times in this run.
Just like, I didn't mention, it happened in DCeased, but DCeased and this issue, the final page ends, and there's no little, like, caption that's like, the end, or next, or anything, so you're like, was that the last page? And you're looking for the rest of the story of this issue, and where is it? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's gone. There is nothing to be continued. Also, it's a pretty thick issue, and, every page is something else happening.
Yeah, there's no continuity from one page to another as far as events taking place. It's like, you just saw Jane Foster down on the planet fighting Dario Agro of Roxxon on one page. Well, guess what? On the next page, she's somewhere else, and you better have noticed that the ship was sailing back in the first panel of that page because, how is Jane Foster in all of these places? Why is Jane Foster, with just a spear but no additional powers, able to fight Dario Agar, a Minotaur,
Men can fight minotaurs. Men with no powers can fight minotaurs.
I'm just, we'll get the last issue because we've gotten this far, and we may as well see how the event ends. But it's just, it's so frustrating because the art is almost there. Like, it's almost good enough to carry it on its own.
Almost. It is a little bit like an explosion on every page, though.
The color palette.
Explosion of colors.
Right, it's yellow everywhere.
It is very yellow.
It's so yellow all the time. This is a 3 for me.
Yeah.
I'm not loving it.
No, I totally am with you there.
There's nothing to grab onto.
Yeah. I'd still give it a 4, though. Not quite a 3. It's a little too low. But let's move on anyway to
a book where stuff does happen.
Issue 25 of Justice League. Year of the Villain Prelude. That's Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV.
So it's going to be a good one.
Very true. And it actually is a pretty good one. You get a little bit of Superman backstory with the lantern in the beginning. We got a little bit of that before. Wasn't really sure what that was all about, but they pulled it together in this one really well, especially with the League coming in at the end of that story when Superman tells it later on in the issue, and the rest of the Justice League came down on that time when they forgot to light it. And they brought their own lanterns. It's very sweet.
I was really wondering where this lantern thing was going for the last 2 issues of Superman, thinking about this story, but he really tied it in fairly nicely.
He really did.
Man, desiccated, power-drained Superman just looks awful.
Floating through the void. Oh, man, yeah. Skip that page. And now it's War of the Justice League versus the new Justice League from this World Forger's potential world. And, they fight for a bit, and that's cool. And Batman, he's trying to convince the League that, this is the way to win. This is it. We got to do it. He's got his crazy sun armor.
Yes, SON, the sun box armor,
right,
which is a play on Mother Box.
Of course. Everything's got to be a box.
Yes.
And, for a while it seems like, Batman really is doing this.
You never buy it. Like, it's everything we predicted was going to happen.
Yeah, well, except for the fact that Batman at the end is like, no, I truly did. I was believing that was the right way, but, you're my friends, so I'm not going to make you.
It's like, basically, if I can leave an infinitesimal chance that Superman will survive this, and he survives it, that will give Batman enough faith that the Justice League also will be able to surmount this seemingly insurmountable threat. And then he does the Grant Morrison, Jonathan Hickman thing at the end, where they beat the World Forger, and then they're like, all right, World Forger, we won. Our way's the way. Now join us and be part of the Justice League. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I guess so. I'm beaten. Everything's doomed, so I might as well join the Justice League.
Like,
pretty cool. Batman moving suns with his suit in the background so nobody notices, but Clark can get out of there. Also, very cool. And, them beating the World Forger and the World Forger joining them, not even the end. There's still a bunch of comic after that where they get back to Earth, and the battle with Mxyzptlk has destroyed everything. Mxyzptlk.
Hey. I don't think there's a right way to say it.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm going to continue to go with Mxyzptlk. But, Earth has apparently gone through some shit, as we saw in Prelude number 1 of Year of the Villain, with Luthor going through all his shit and blowing himself up.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it on the show, but we did read the Villain special, and,
we didn't talk about that one.
In the hole here.
Right, yeah, and that's what's going on. But you know what really surprised me? Jarro is alive. I thought Jarro sacrificed himself because he totally went up against Mxyzptlk, and I thought he died.
I am a little disappointed that we didn't get to see more of the Justice League and Batmite defeating Mxyzptlk.
That's true. That would have been nice to see. But too bad. But they actually did defeat him, and there's a very nice page of Luthor standing over his body with the rest of them standing behind him. It's cool.
Yeah, what, were we just reading something else where Luther gave the power to everybody and they killed everyone? Was that a book we were talking about last week?
Not that I recall.
Okay, I was something else I read. But
oh, maybe another universe Luther or something did something like that. I don't know. But yeah, Jarro's back to calling Batman Dad, and he's like, "Don't call me that."
Right.
And later, Jarro swears, and Batman's like, "Language," all the while.
yeah, it was in Last Night on Earth. We find out that the world went bad because Luther gave power to the regular people.
Right.
Also written by Scott Snyder.
Oh. Hilarious.
Okay. Sorry, anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, I was just going to go on about Jarro standing on Batman's shoulder, looking all mean, calling him Dad. Pretty funny stuff.
I liked the bit where the Justice League was saying, like, okay, World Forger says, no, we got to get in touch with Monitor and Anti-Monitor. That's what we got to do. And Starman's like, nah, we got to get the multiverse and all the heroes of the multiverse. And Wonder Woman's like, nah, we just got to be as strong as we can with all the people we know.
Right.
And then, who is it? It's a Batman.
John.
Oh, John. He's like, nah, we need all of it. All three things.
Yeah, we do all those things and more coming later. Yeah, so I thought this was great.
Now, let me ask you, though, the last couple pages, that's Luther getting reborn, right? For sure? Like, knowing that's anything but Luther getting reborn?
Well, I figured Luther would come back at some point, and now you mention it, it does kind of look like Luther, but gray.
Gray Luther, yeah.
So, I think you're probably right about that.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Anyways, this was fantastic. I give it an 8.
I'm going to give it an 8. It would be a 7, but World Forger joined the team, and I like it when
they're going after the Monitor and Anti-Monitor. Yeah,
right.
Good stuff, and a satisfying conclusion to the Fifth Dimension World Forger stuff.
Yeah, I think that was probably the best arc of Justice League so far.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're very entertaining. All right, guys, issue 72. Tom King's Batman. This is the first issue to be released since it was announced that Tom King is going to be removed from his Batman run early.
That is true.
No, this is me.
This is you?
Yeah, you made a special point about how I was supposed to do Batman.
Oh, right. Right, because I skimmed it. There's no dialogue.
This is such a Tom King issue of Batman, yet again, because the entire issue is filled with a character monologuing across a mix of action panels drawn by Jorge Fornes and 2-page spreads by Mikel Janin that are like flashbacks to earlier parts of the arc.
Yep.
All the narration is Batman's dad from another universe talking to Bane, I guess, about how and why he's there to help Bane with his plan. We very sort of blatantly have the narration explain a lot of Bane's plan and how it's worked all along. The only question that's sort of left open is whether or not Catwoman really did love Batman, but it seems like it's leaning towards she did, or does.
Right.
And it does show that Batman headbutting Bane earlier and taking him out for the count was just Bane faking it. He would never get taken down by a single headbutt.
Right. And the ventriloquist is mentioned quite a few times.
Yeah, as being like a spy, I guess. Like he's there to ensure in some way that Batman does react to situations the way he's supposed to, or just to let them know that Batman is reacting to situations the way he's supposed to.
Maybe.
Yeah. It seemed like, if I didn't know for a fact that this was definitely already written before it was announced he was off the book, I would have assumed that this was him scrambling to be like, wait, no, I did have answers for all this. Like, please, let me finish the story. Like, I know it's taking 72 issues and it's going to be 30 more, but look! And it's such a Tom King issue of Batman after all that. And it's not, even though we're getting the answers to the questions, they're not fulfilling answers. It's like the most obvious answers.
That's
like,
true.
Oh, Booster Gold did that shit? Yeah, well, we reprogrammed Skeets to convince Booster Gold to do that. Boom. Done. 2.
2 is right, yeah. Alright. So we got a Guardians of the Galaxy anniversary issue? Annual. That's what the word I was looking for. Yes, a extra large size annual Guardians
of the Galaxy don't appear in.
They don't appear in this, and it's all stuff that's happened after that the heroes fell into that black hole.
Yeah, this almost seemed like it was just as much a prelude to the Silver Surfer series that's coming.
That as well. Silver Surfer Black.
Yeah, which next week. Very excited.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I do get a bit wary of things with black in the title, you know? It's like, add black at the end, make it sound cool.
Well, he is turning black.
Right, well, that's true, but you know. Evil Goku is Goku Black.
Stop, don't shoot, I'm not black.
Oh, you just went there. Anyway, so yeah, this is a few different stories in this issue.
Bookended by Cosmo, the Russian astronaut dog, like searching down the heroes that the stories are about.
Right, and so we get a story with this guy. I know his name. He's Richard Rider.
He's Nova, baby.
Right, the Centurion. Well, Nova Centurion.
Just Nova. I guess the Centurion would be like a nickname-y type thing.
Right. And he meets up with Quasar.
Yeah, Quasar.
Dude. He's a pretty chipper dude. I like him.
Yeah, Quasar doesn't show up in enough comics. I never know what's up with Quasar. If he's alive or dead. He's never in comics since like the 80s.
Well, he's in this one a little bit. He talks a little bit with Nova. They have a good time of talking about all the stuff that's going on.
You know what I don't like?
World destroyers and stuff.
Yeah, speaking of world destroyers, I really don't like the line where he's like, yeah, you know Galactus?
He's just a guy.
Like a guy. And I'm like, no! Galactus is the literal opposite of just a guy.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Donnie.
He's everything but.
Whoever's writing this because I think Donnie wrote the Cosmo bookends. And I assume that's Al Ewing writing the Nova story. And, we like Al Ewing. He's writing that Hulk series, but...
Yeah, I like that Nova story pretty well.
That was the best section, I think.
Yeah, because Nova, after going through that black hole, he ends up on far reaches of a universe.
This ain't Nova. This is Warlock.
Oh, this is Warlock?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I like this story, too. Warlock, he ended up on far reaches of the universe. Found this world with these people that they reproduce real fast, and they ran out of resources on their world.
They're humanoid tribbles.
Yeah, they're tribbles. Other races see them as vermin because they reproduce so fast. But they were going to go extinct on their world. But just then, some being sent down like food and water, the things they needed, and so they worship it as a god. So this guy, what'd you say his name was?
Warlock or Adam.
Right, Warlock. Right, Adam Warlock. I know him.
That's funny. It's hilarious that you'd say that because you know what his name was when he was first introduced?
Huh.
Him with a capital H.
Whoa. Now that's some weird stuff.
Yep.
But Adam, he talks to these things, finds out about this god, and he's just like, well...
dog.
Yeah, I mean, just blatant generosity, and now they worship him. I gotta go see what this is about. So he flies up into space and finds the damn thing. And he's like, they reproduce so fast and they worship me as a god, they're gonna be an unstoppable army.
It's the god character from the third issue of Green Lantern.
Right. And, so he's just like, nah, he kills it.
It replaces its effects.
And he replaces its effects so that those things will not die out due to him, but will continue to live on as their verminy selves.
Right, because even if you want to stop their evil false god from taking advantage of them, there's no reason to interrupt their worship of their false god.
Right, exactly.
They don't know any better.
Right, and they'll eventually evolve out of it if this is Star Trek, which is not.
Right.
The third story is a story about Darkhawk.
Yes,
And
Darkhawk.
it is a weird one.
I assume this is, I've said this kind of thing before. I assume this story means a lot more to you if you're familiar with Darkhawk, because the whole thing that the narration boxes are telling us is that all the stuff that's happening is very weird for Darkhawk.
Right, it's wrong for the human body of Darkhawk to be in the same place as the armored Darkhawk, because usually they have to switch places.
Right, it's a Miracle Man, usually.
Right, and them being in the same place is not a good thing. And add to that the phenomenal cosmic powers of a black hole and the cosmic powers of who's fighting that wormhole with their cosmic powers? Is it Ghost Rider and the power cosmic? Well, it's the power cosmic anyway. It's in there too.
Yeah, somebody's using the power cosmic. Was it Warlock? Was it Surfer?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
and he's a kid.
When Darkhawk comes to, he might have imagined himself into being a kid, and now he is stuck as a kid inside the armor, which is something he always wanted even before he got the Darkhawk armor, was to see himself wearing it. But that can't happen, and now he's screwed because he's a kid inside that big armor, and that's no good. You don't want that.
Yes. So yeah. That's and all these characters have been retrieved by Cosmo, working for this mysterious hooded figure.
All right, I didn't know Cosmo said "duh" a lot.
Da. He's Russian.
Oh, he's Russian.
Da
That's
must be having faith. Yes.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. He's being written in that written to have the accent, which I thought was hilarious.
I thought he just had a speech impediment and said "da" or "da" a lot.
Nah. He's Russian. His first name is Niet. Not all of them. Cosmo is tiny.
Oh, yeah. He does say "niet." I should have caught on them.
Da, Cosmo is happy for you to be rescue him from void of space after silverest of surfers pull him from black hole. Like, you can, it's good. It works pretty well.
Okay, well, I read it real fast. Anyways, I thought it was pretty good.
I'm into it.
I'd give it a 7.
I'm into seeing more with all these characters. If the intention is to get us a little bit more up to speed with where Nova and Darkhawk and Warlock are, and Quasar before they're added to regular appearances in the main series. I'm down. I'm down for all these characters to be showing up.
Yeah, no, I definitely like the reaching out of stuff in space that's going on.
Yeah,
getting a lot of worlds, a lot of characters. Really tie in that Marvel space stuff, not including Earth, together.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 7.
Cool, we agree.
Alright, coming up, save the best for last. Issue 8 of The Green Lantern by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp, colored by Steve Oliff. I read in an interview with the creators that Grant Morrison was trying to channel the spirit of Jack Kirby for the writing, and that
that's nice.
Liam Sharp was trying to channel the Neil Adams art style, which is why his art looks slightly different in this issue from the way it has looked in previous issues.
Well, that's true.
It's all a callback to the famous Hard Traveling Heroes arc, where Green Lantern and Green Arrow teamed up and did a road trip across America to fight evil and injustice of both supervillain and political types.
Right. Hal and Ollie.
The cover is a great callback to the famous "My Ward is a Junkie" cover from that era, where they walk in on Speedy about to shoot up some heroin. The issue is all about these space drug dealers who you think are dealing drugs on Earth, but in fact they're tricking Earthlings into selling their souls, which can then be sold as drugs to other species.
Oh my god, the horror.
And in order to do so, they've tapped the abilities of some sort of crazy extra-dimensional... I don't know if they're supposed to be fifth-dimensional imps type things, or just from another dimension in general, but the Zine Arrow and the Zine Lantern. Right,
it seems like they're just from another dimension in general. I assume a larger dimension.
Right, and their large size, even this, is the result of them having to shrink down and compress themselves to be able to move around in our space.
Right. They're not able to stand up or anything with our gravity.
Right, not without their equipment. And there's a subplot with this planet, Hadia Maxima, a planet where everybody's always killing each other to move up in the ranks throughout the planet. Like, murder is just like their currency on that planet, and they're sending a guy to kill the same drug dealer that Hal and Ollie are up against. But the dude's going to take out Earth at the same time, so Hal has to stop that guy. There's so much story packed into this issue.
I also like that because the Giants not being able to stand up is once again in this run, Morrison calling back to the square cubed law.
Yes, very true. Square Cube came up once again, setting us up and calling it back. Hal and Ollie are having a weird drug trip near the end where they're fighting against the panel borders of the comic itself. So we've gone full Morrison for a couple of pages there.
Oh yeah.
And then on the last page, Grant's finally bringing in Hal's archenemy, Sinestro.
Yep.
Revealed in the friendliest looking Sinestro I've ever seen. He looks so happy.
So happy and pink.
And the way he's just like standing in the background with a steaming cup of hot beverage.
Right?
it's perfect.
Good guy Sinestro.
So I just wonderful. Just everything you might want from an issue of comics, in my opinion. I loved it.
It's very enjoyable.
Another Aces issue, I'm giving it an 8.
I'd give it an 8 as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. That was 8 books. You've been listening to Sam and Max Hit the Books, and we'll be back next week with even more comic reviews.
Oh, yeah.